Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, and this time reviewing on Kick-Ass 2010 film review. Now, as you know, Kick-Ass is a 2010 superhero film that was directed by Matthew Vaughn, and also originally a comic book series that was made by Mark Millar. And there are a lot of differences from the film to the comic that I've read bits and pieces of at a bookstall in Waterstones. So the premise of the movie is meant to be about Dave Lisinski, who is played by Aaron Johnson, who is kind of this nerdy, kind of social outcast who pretty much one day decides that he wants to be a superhero, but he kind of lacks the skills and basically the kind of hand-to-hand combat of an actual hero. So I would say that at first he starts to get a bit rubbish, but then starts to become a bit more better. And keep in mind that the movie was also meant to be a reference, and the same with the comics as a reference, to how people try to be superheroes in real life. And this was a lot like Phoenix Jones, when he tried to be a hero, but ended up getting arrested multiple times, and not leaving the actual stuff to actual people, like police officers, shopkeepers, and all that. And keep in mind that this also draws in the character Big Daddy, played by Nicolas Cage, and the character's daughter Mindy Hit Girl, played by Chloe Grace Moretz. And they're supposed to be the more experienced heroes and kind of meant to be the more knowing how the world of things work. And their goal is to take down Frank D'Amico, played by Mark Strong, who was known for playing Dr. Savannah in the Shazam movie, as well as playing Sinestro in the Green Lantern film. So Frank D'Amico's character is the stereotypical crime boss, and at the same time his son Chris wants to kind of prove to his father that he has what it takes to run the family business, and it's heavily implied that Frank is embarrassed by Chris's nerdy behaviour and kind of feels he wants a better successor. So, at the same time, the film itself does a great job in not only pointing out how sometimes being a superhero takes time and work, but it points out that sometimes there are consequences to it. And you can tell Dave does kind of realise this the hard way as he tries to get the girl, Katie, to like him, which works but has downsides to it. And keep in mind that I feel each character does come off as a bit irresponsible. For example, when you've got Big Daddy's friend Marcus, he never really tries to, properly stop Big Daddy's operations. And yeah, I know that one of the officers were meant to be corrupted in the film, and you can tell that they really did wanted to give Dave's father a bit more screen time, but they hardly do it. And keep in mind that, yeah, this is meant to be basically featuring how Kick-Ass is meant to learn about being a hero. I can kind of understand that it's meant to be about keeping his hero stuff a secret, much like Peter Parker with Aunt May in that. So, at the same time, what the film does is definitely knows how to handle its comic book stuff, and definitely knows how to come up with its own alternative version. And what's actually interesting, Mark Millar himself prefers the film version to his own comic. And it's like when you're a writer and you prefer something differently to your own work. And that takes a lot of commitment. And the film did come with some controversies, for example, for its profanity, and yeah, the character Chloe being used in the film. I'm thinking this is what the film was supposed to be. And yeah, I think it's important to take it with a bit of pinch of salt. And I know that they do change Big Daddy's origin from him being a kind of ex-cop as a lie, but revealed to be a accountant who kidnapped his daughter to become a vigilante. Understandable. But in this one, you have a more understandable reason, and you can tell that he uses his vengeance as a weapon to get back at Frank D'Amico. Now, what's interesting is that there was even a sequel called Kick-Ass 2 that was released in 2013, as well as that in 2018 there was an announcement about doing a reboot to the series. And what's actually interesting is the actor who played Kick-Ass and one of the characters who plays his friend both portrayed Quicksilver in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for Kick-Ass, and his friend portraying him in the X-Men movie universe. So there is a nice little balance. And I think the film does a good message that when you've got someone like Phoenix Jones or anyone portraying to be a superhero in real life, there is going to be some consequences, and it's important to leave the hero stuff to firefighters, rescue services, police officers, and people who actually know how to handle real life emergencies. So I think the movie deserves a thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, Comic Reviewy here, signing out.